All right, let's come back and take a look at the local dailies. We start off with the Daily Nation this morning. Governors defy Senate amid bribery scandal. So impunity, they ask. County bosses have resolved they won't appear before a Senate watchdog committee, accusing its members of extortion and embarrassing them to gain political mileage. Skezo complains. Munatuaibisha. Their protests come as outrageous expenditures are exposed during County Public Accounts Committee hearings on audit queries, which governors claim senators are exploiting to extort bribes. But senators have dismissed the accusations, arguing the county chiefs have resorted to the smear campaign in an attempt to dodge accountability. They have vowed not to relent in the quest to stop looting of public funds. So what the Senate has been probing emanates from the audit report on counties by the Auditor General Nancy Gathungu. So kama ile ati kulikuwa na Christmas tree ya 3.8 million. Kulikuwa na housewarming ya 5 million mahali. Alafu kulikuwa na pesa zingine zilikuwa meant for bodaboda. Zilikuwa meant sijui kufungua market, alafu zikapewa watu wa bodaboda wa attend mkutano ya mkubwa. Sasa hizo ndio governors wanasema hapana, mnatuaibisha, mbona mnaongea hii maneno. So the CAG met in Kilifi yesterday. Wakakasirika, wakasema sisi senator 20. So accusations of lawmakers demanding bribes have persisted and even forced dissolution of a committee in 2015. It's not a new thing. There have been such accusations before. And according to the governors, they say that kuna mahali mmoja alitishwa 9 million. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 9 akaambiwa ukisipoleta utaumia. But then again, this is what the president said sometime last year, that MPs and senators are simply rent-seeking. They're houses of bribery. They're demanding bribes in whatever they do. Kama president amesema, who are we to doubt? Former Mwea MP linked to car theft syndicate. The DCI have arrested former Mwea MP Peter Gitao on suspicions of involvement in the theft of vehicles, including a truck belonging to Murang'a County Government. Unaiba gari hadi ya serikali. Wow. Unajua kuna watu wanakuanga tu very bold. Pale juu, 4 brothers die in a quarry that authorities refused to refill. Those are the inside pages. A very sad story of one family that lost so many people. Na kuambia siku hizi corruption iko hadi kanisani. Kuna story pale page 3 of the Daily Nation. Kuna imam who has been charged with defrauding a worshipper.
Imefika Muslims.
Yeah.
Wamefikiwa.
Anyway, Joey is back on the pages. Joey Irungu. You remember Joey Irungu?
Yes.
He has challenged the law denying death row inmates bail.
Wow.
No, he's serving his sentence for the murder of Monica Kimani. So more stories on the inside pages. Kuna mahali wanazungumzia mambo gani hapa? Hata sioni stories zingine kubwa kubwa. Party hopping, and we'll see that on the other pages. Kule nyuma, Africa's oldest regional football body, CECAFA, now fights to stay alive. New office faces daunting task of winning back confidence of the members and reviving senior challenge cap. So yes, CECAFA, iko pale magazetini. That's the Daily Nation today.
All right, tukisonga mbele, the Standard trained savages, cruelty. At a time the family of killed KMTC student is seeking answers. The student is here on the front page. In a statement, rather than give assurance, revealed the callousness with which it treats human life. In an outrageous turn, it seemed to blame residents for the death, which points to a remorseless service unable to tame officers thirsty for the next drop of blood. Now, despite valiant efforts made to turn the police force into a police service to align it with the requirements of the Bill of Rights in the Constitution, whose spirit is to save human life, the behaviors therein have stuck in a gone-by era. Now, they have been quoted here, a security analyst rather. They say, human rights training is not a new concept. It has existed as long as I can remember. During our time, the course was known as liberal studies. The truth of the matter is that the training curriculum is good. The elephant in the room is the executive influence over police. This is George Musamali. This story has been covered on page 2 and 3, and this young lady was killed sometime over the weekend. They say police service is always in the spotlight over extrajudicial killings, abductions, and torture, yet all of them go through mandatory training that covers human rights themes. The human rights course that has failed to change Kenya's police officers. This story is on page 2 and 3. Kuna time waliambiwa they're allowed to shoot on the leg.
Unakumbuka yule mwingine who shot a hawker in town? They've also included his story here. Is Cleansy Baraza, who shot someone during the Gen Z protests. He's been denied bail in the murder case. So bado yuko kizimbani ama korokoroni.
On page 4, Junet scrambles to retain political standing after Azimio shake-up. Nasema mtu anazungumzia Azimio leo.
Azimio lazima.
Azimio, Junet Mohammed's political future hangs in the balance as Azimio leadership changes and ODM disputes threaten him. Once protected by Raila Odinga, he now faces party battles, reshuffles, and backlash over Ruto. Lusaka's new role puts him at a battlefront is another story on page 5. Inter-community resource wars, wildlife threatened lives in Samburu. Worsening drought has pushed the county into flashpoints of desperate survival fights. Suguta families batter hunger as aid falters. And on the back page, African players shine in Europe. Otara fires yet another winner. Last week,
I think it's good to mention Brian Mbeumo of Manchester United is a Cameroonian forward, and he's been scoring goals after goals.
Achezi.
Ewe is not a joke.
Ajaenda kwa kucheza.
Sawa tu tukubali. Watu wa Man U wana celebrate ukweli tu usemwe. Anyway, from the Standard, let's focus on Taifa Leo. Siasa za kurukaruka za rejea. Si ati za rejea, zimekuwa hapo all through because kile wanazungumzia hapa ni hatua ya wanasiasa waliochaguliwa kuvitema vyama vilivyowadhamini ni kinyume cha sheria ya vyama vya kisiasa. Inawataka wanaohama au kujihusisha na vyama tofauti wajiuzulu katika nyadhifa zao ili watafute kura upya kwa vyama hivyo vipya walivyohamia. The only politician who has ever complied with this is one Raila Odinga. When he changed his party, he had been elected on a different party ticket as MP for Kibra. I think for Langata MP. Then he changed his party. He actually resigned as MP and went back for a by-election. Nakalima watu bado in his new party. These are the people they've all changed. Sabina Chege is a Jubilee member, but she was attending UDA meetings. All these others, people like Senator Fonyandarwa John Medho, he is a UDA senator. Senator Nyoto of Moranga is a UDA senator. But wote wanasema nini? DCP, which is actually against the Political Parties Act. Yes. Wengine pale kama Gakuya. Naibu wa gavana Kakamega Ayub Savula has left DAP-K and is now UDA. Mbunge wa Iala Kanini Kega left UDA now, left Jubilee, now is a member of DCP. All this, and they have their images there on the front pages. Wanasiasa wameanza kuruka vyama vilivyowadhamini mwaka 2022 wakijihusisha au kujiunga na vyama pinzani. The problem is no consequence. They can do this without any consequence. Habari zingine hapa zinazopewa kipaumbele pale chini, IPOA yaanza kuchunguza mauaji ya huruma, na ni majonzi wana wanne wa familia moja wakifa katika Timbo. Pale juu serikali yatoa bilioni 4 kuokoa waathiriwa wa ukame. I think so far we've only seen the Standard that has covered that, 2 pages inside. It's good that this story is also, and we rarely talk about this. Drought and floods ni kama kitu ya kawaida, we just mention tukisonga. Ruto ashtakiwa kuandaa hafla ya UDA Ikulu. Wakili Soyinka asema ni kinyume cha katiba kutumia taasisi ya umma kwa mikutano ya kisiasa. Pale chini, Arsenal tunawacheki, Pep atishia aache vitisho na bwana. Gazeti la Taifa Leo.
The Star, make or break test for Kalonzo and Rigathi in 2-day retreat. Team of experts to table formula the group will use to take on Ruto. Wako hapo on page 2.
Page 4 and 5, this is a big story as well, because now kumekuwa na a lot of shifts, especially with the revival of Azimio. Now, who's going to be the candidate? How do they work together, DCP? Remember the confusion after they announced that Azimio had been revived and that Kalonzo Musyoka had been appointed as a party leader.
Yes.
So all this Kalonzo Rigathi teams put together rock-solid machines for Ruto battle. They are holding a 2-day retreat. So team of handpicked experts will table a formula that the group could smoothly get over the hurdle of competing ambitions. Will it be enough? That's the question.
Survivor of HIV, cervical and colon cancer, Vivian's journey through 13 surgeries, that's a special feature. Imagine akona cervical cancer, ni survivor of HIV, na akona colon cancer.
Enyewe maisha ni ngumu. Alipata HIV, akapata cervical cancer, akapata colon cancer. And she has lived through it. She got HIV, I think, in 1999.
Progress
almost 30 years later.
Derailed. FGM, tourism fueling, not ending the practice. Last week, we marked zero tolerance of female genital mutilation. The Star is not for sale today. Grab a copy for free. MyGov pullout?
Yes, for government jobs and tenders, grab yourself a copy of this paper. Fresh, independent, different. Let's take a look at the People Daily, and it's a question: will these camps make Ruto a one-term president? And it's an analysis of the different camps that are prevailing within the different formations within the opposition. The camps and the breakaway team from ODM, with the Sifuna, Orengo, Babu Owino, Caleb Amisi. We've seen what is happening in Western Kenya with the Tawi movement, George Natembeya, the united opposition with Gachagua, Kalonzo, and Fred Matiang'i. They're yet to come up with a proper formation, a united one. So the question, according to this People Daily, is will these different camps make Ruto a one-term president, or will they allow him now to sail comfortably through? Najua a few years back kuna mtu alisemekana atapita katikati yao, na alipita katikati yao. Ako hapa kwa hii gazeti. And sitting an incumbent, I can tell you for sure, it's not the easiest thing. Pale juu, while the government is silent on citizens killed in the Ukraine war, the government aongei sana hiyo mambo. What's the big deal? Yeah.
Governors accuse 4 senators of extortion, boycott hearings in power standoff.
Yeah, milioni 9.
Wanamwaya mtama. Finally, Business Daily. Google rejects 61% of Kenya's censorship asks. They say tech giant Google rejected that percentage of requests from the Kenyan government to remove content such as YouTube videos and such listings, amid a surge in takedown demands underscoring growing friction between the state and global technology firms. So Google declined 26 of the 42 items it received from Kenya, citing national security, defamation and hate speech in the 6 months to June.
Hata sisi kuna watu walijaribu kusema take down jana na juzi.
Yes.
Lakini ni kama haijawaka.
Mtangoja nyinyi wewe. Amkeni hapo. NSC starts buying selling of shares directly via M-Pesa.
Oh, that's a game changer.
It is. Let's just see what they're saying. Top stockbrokers have been locked out of a mobile trading platform that will, from today, allow investors to buy and sell shares directly from M-Pesa. Safaricom has tapped Kestrel Capital as a sole broker to process traders on the mobile money transfer service in a shift from the decades-old tradition of relying on stockbrokers for buying and selling equities.
That's interesting.
That's a win. On the ticker, Kibaki and Uhuru era loan funds falter as Hustler and Nyota rise. Loan disbursements under affirmative action funds established during the administrations of Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta have fallen significantly, highlighting a shift by the Kenya Kwanza government to new digitally driven credit programs such as the Hustler Fund and the Nyota project. Nedbank commits to retain all existing NCBA employees, and banks call for CBK rate pause amid loan pricing changes. That's the Business Daily this morning. All
right. Once again, a reminder of our panel this morning: MPs Peter Orero and Onesmus Ngogoyo of Kibra and Kajiado North constituencies respectively, and advocates of the High Court, Harrison Kinyanjui, Joshua Nyamori. Do stand by for that in a short while. Later on, we talk about matters tourism in the age of AI. Is Kenya ready?
Right, Charles Gakui will be here for this conversation. He's the CEO Air Travel and Related Studies Center.
Tuangazie makarakacha wachoraji